Basically, we just, small group of us get together, we talk about what are our values going to be, we print them out on a poster, and we stick them up on the wall, right? Is that how we do it? Is that how we transform cultures? No? Really? No, not effectively, yeah. This is what we refer to when I talk about old world organizations. I came across this quote on social media, and boy, did it resonate with me. Nothing will kill a great employee faster than watching you tolerate a bad one. So we're going to talk about what makes up culture, what makes up organizational culture. Starts with values, beliefs, purpose. And the behaviors are really what drives it all, right? So what are we willing to accept? In that organization, in old world organizations, they led by fear, right? There was that idea of heavy-handedness, right? Control is that feeling that we experience in the old world organizations. Very, very discipline is common, right? Very disciplined approach. Mistakes are punished. God forbid you make a mistake, right? So what does that lead to? We've talked about it all week. Lack of honesty. Well, I'm not going to speak up. I don't want to be punished, right? So in old world organizations, old energy organizations, that's the type of behavior that was promoted. We train people how to treat us. You agree with that? We train people how to treat us. By how?
By the experiences we give them.
By experiences what? Our reaction, right? If they do something that's not in alignment with our own values and we allow it to happen, guess what? The flip side of that is if we're encouraging people to speak up within an organization, if we want to change a culture, we want the just culture, we want people to experience psychological safety, and they speak up and the response is, well, what the hell? Why'd you do that? What's the likelihood they're going to speak up again? 0. So how many of you have heard the term accidental culture? Have you ever heard that term? Yeah, Lauren, I see you raise your hand. How do you know if you have an accidental culture? What do you think?
If you're not leading with intention.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, right? Because the opposite of an accidental culture is an intentional culture. And if you don't intentionally set the culture for your organization, the people will do it for you accidentally, right? How do we move to an intentional culture? That's the $64,000 question, right? We have to change the experiences. We have to change the experiences of the people that work at that organization. Culture. So elements of culture. Creating culture, like we talked about, must be intentional. And it has to be intentional through these 3 aspects. So clearly articulated purpose, values, and behaviors. And the behaviors, here's the key, folks. The behaviors are observable, as we know. We need to note them as leaders within the organization, and then we need to either respond or we need to reinforce or coach to. So if the behaviors are not aligned to, back to the, my earlier slide about accepting bad behavior, if the behaviors are not in alignment with the organizational mission, vision, values, we should be coaching to them. If they are, we should be reinforcing that because culture dictates performance. Because if you have an organization that has a toxic culture, you may be successful in the short term, but the sustainability of your organization, the profitability, the overall performance of your organization. Because why? They're gonna leave, right? So in the New World Organization, command and control is out. Sorry, I'm sure there's probably some people in the room that are upset about that, especially those in nuclear. Been there and done that. It has its place. Procedures, processes, all of that has its place, absolutely. I worked in high-risk industry my whole life, right? I mean, of course, I know that procedures and processes have their place, but command and control in terms of how we deal with people, right? We lead people. We lead people. They are human. We don't manage people. How many of you feel responsible for the performance of your organization and the people within it? Trick question. How can you control what other people do? Maybe for a period of time by fear-based command and control, right? But the idea behind New World Organizations is we lead people to choice. We lead them to a place where they can make a decision, where they can say, I belong here or I don't belong here. And if I feel out of alignment, if I'm being asked to do things that I don't want to do now, okay, let's not all go quit our jobs tomorrow, right? Because we got the Great Resignation happening. But we lead people to choice. And that, to me, is as leaders, that's the obligation that we have. We can't be responsible for what they do. It's kind of like leading a horse to water, right? I can lead a horse to water. I can't make him drink. But the idea behind New World Organization is that in the book, she talks about 3 hats in a position of authority. One is human hat, one is leader hat, one is manager hat. In reality, if you do all of this right, you wear your human hat, let's say 90% of the time. We bring the leader hat out, we bring the manager hat out on occasion. But for the most part, we lead and wear that human hat first. We lead from a place of empathy and compassion. You heard it here first, people. I'm gonna change MVV, mission, vision, and values to MVP. Mission, vision, and purpose. Because I believe that for organizations that don't currently have a purpose, a declared purpose, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see that coming. That's the wave of the future because people want to work for an organization where they can contribute to something bigger than themselves. Why did I stay working for the organization that I worked for so many years? Well, I mean, I trained first responders, Homeland Security first responders, right? I upgraded a power plant. I helped eliminate the chemical weapons stockpile in the country. Meaningful work, valuable work. I felt like I had purpose every day. But most organizations, while they may have mission, vision, and values, people can't articulate what they are. And more importantly, they have no idea how their role contributes to the greater purpose of the organization.